Welcome, everyone. I hope spring is on the horizon wherever it is you are located. My name is Jody Armand-Jones, and I am a volunteer with Icelandic Roots. Joining me here today is Doug Hansen from Virginia, and he is also an Icelandic Roots volunteer, as is our presenter, Hjordís Hilmarsdóttir, who is coming to us from Gunnlaugsstaðir, is that correct? Gunnlaugsstaðir in Iceland, Eastern Iceland. For those of you unfamiliar with Icelandic Roots, we are a nonprofit organization that looks to promote and preserve our Icelandic heritage, culture, and genealogy. We just celebrated our 8th birthday and encourage you to find out more about us at www.icelandicroots.com, as well as on Facebook and Instagram. Please note, as you saw in the opening screen, we are being recorded, and this will be available within a week or so on the Icelandic Roots YouTube channel. And since it's a webinar format, everyone is silenced or muted. Please, probably at the bottom of your screen, go to the Q&A button, and you can just type in your question there. Here, again, joining us from Iceland is Hjordís Hilmarsdóttir, and she lives, as I mentioned, just south of Egilsstadir in Iceland. And she works as a bookkeeper for her son, who you might see in and out, helping her with some of the technical issues on her side. She has some pretty interesting interests outside of work, and they include traveling, hiking, and she is a dog breeder, specifically of Huskies. She is, as I mentioned, a volunteer for Icelandic Roots, which we greatly appreciate her expertise. And we hope to see her here in the United States this summer at August the Deuce, where she will hopefully be able to bring a very special film selection for us. So without further ado, Hjordís, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, good evening.
So, good afternoon. My name is Hjordís Hilmarsdóttir, and I live on a farm named Gunnlaugsstaðir near Egilsstadir on the east part of Iceland. I'm going to tell you about the destination Egilsstadir and show you photos and videos of interesting places to visit here. I moved here from Reykjavík 2003 and became fascinated by the diversity of the landscape of the area. You can say that Fljótsdals Circle is a paradise for hikers. I started to work as a volunteer with the touring club of Fljótsdals Circle and was with some friends a creator of 2 interesting programs. One, Hiking Treasure of Egilsstadir, a group of 30 carefully selected hiking trails and treasure destinations, and 2, Highland Farms, a selection of easy hiking trips, visiting the ruins of farms of the Morse areas in this part of the country. Many residents of these farms moved to America when they left the Highland farms. So I'm starting with the destination Egilsstadir. Egilsstadir is the largest community in East Iceland and lies on the banks of the Lagarfljót River and in an area called Fljótsdals Circle, and serves cultural, economic, and administrative hub of the area. Fljótsdals Circle is also the home to many diverse landforms and provides countless opportunity to explore. If you are in Egilsstadir, I would say there are 3 places must visit. Vökbaðs, Icelandic only floating infinity pools located on the banks of Urriðavatn Lake, only a few minutes from the town of Egilsstadir. It was opened in July 2019. At Vökbaðs, you will find floating geothermal pools with infinity view, 2 onshore hot pools, a sauna, cold water spray tunnel, tea bar, an in-water bar, and the on-site restaurant Vök Bistro. Geothermal heat was discovered in the area a while back when people living around the lake noticed certain spots that curiously did not freeze in the wintertime. Back in the day, these spots were used for washing clothes during wintertime when it was difficult to find water. These spots also became the center of a myth about Tuska, a creature that used the geothermal springs to get up to the surface. After that, the spot became known as Tuskuvakir. The Icelandic name for ice-free patches like these is Vök. So I'm going to let the video finish. These spots are now the main attraction at Vökbað and fill the floating infinity pools of warm water. Our guests experience the beauty of bathing in these geothermal spots in the Röðuvatn Lake and create a special connection to the nature surrounding Vökbað. Iceland is famous for its geothermal activity. However, the eastern part of the country is located in a cold spot, making Vökbað a rarity in a sparsely populated region. Number 2 is the Wilderness Center. It is an authentic and peaceful hideaway located right on the edge of Northern Europe's most extensive wilderness. The center tranquil and pleasant location, as well as a distinct of choice of accommodation and unique setting, both indoors and out, will draw guests into adventure of the past and offer a unique atmosphere. Delicious food from local ingredients is cooked from scratch in the open home-style kitchen. Cake and bread are also homemade. The center offers variety of activities and services. One can go hiking along the waterfalls, cross the river on cable car, go horseback riding, rent mountain bikes, go fishing, gaze at the stars in the stargazing hut, or visit the creative museum about the history of the Icelandic wilderness, where one can walk into adventure of the Icelandic wilderness and be touched by the dramatic struggle between the forces of nature and Icelandic fight to survive. And number 3 is Skriðuklaustur. In 1939, the writer Gunnar Gunnarsson had a mansion built as his family home on the farm Skriðuklaustur. Gunnar and his wife Franziska lived at Skriðuklaustur for 9 years until 1948, when they moved to Reykjavík and gave the mansion and all of the farm to the Icelandic nation, to be forever owned by the Icelandic people. From 1949 to 1990, Skriðuklaustur was a home to an experimental center for farming. Finally, in 2000, the Gunnar Gunnarsson Institute opened museum and a culture center at Skriðuklaustur. At the culture center are permanent exhibition, for example, information about Gunnar Gunnarsson and his life, temporary art exhibition, and numerous events are held every year. On the ground floor at Skriðuklaustur Mansion, there is a restaurant, Klausturkaffi. Icelandic food, culture, and local ingredients are the specialty, with focus on food such as lamb, reindeer, and wild mushrooms. All the cakes and other food are homemade. At the heritage site, Skriðuklaustur, are the ruins of 16th century Augustinian monastery. The monastery was founded around 1493, but came to an end during the Reformation in 1550. In the following centuries, the history of the monastery was almost forgotten, but was revealed in an archaeological research project in the years 2000 to 2012. Next, I'm going to tell you a little about the hiking treasure. They are 30 wonderful hiking trails. The destination are mountain tracks and peaks, waterfall, lakes, creeks, canyons, small caves, and inlet by the sea. At each destination, a tubular container of cylinder holds information on the site. a visitor log to sign in, and a unique stamp made for each location. Hikers can buy specially made cards to bring along on their hike for stamping at each destination. That is how hikers can document their arrival to the site. If hikers fill the card with 10 destinations, they can get certification from the touring club. All 3 places are marked with a train difficulty level. There is a sign at the starting point, which is on this photo. Everyone should be able to find places that suit them in the hiking treasure. The most popular hiking treasure are Stuðlagil and Hengifoss. Although there are many beautiful hiking treasures, I find Þerribjarg and Stórurð the most magnificent, and 2 of the most beautiful places in the east of Iceland. I'm now going to show you a video from these 2 wonderful places. Hope you enjoy. I cannot show you all the hiking treasures today, but there are many beautiful places that are easy to walk to, such as Bardafoss and Landsendi, Stapavík and Stútsfoss. And next I'm going to tell you about the Highland farms. I will start by showing you the beginning of a film that I made about the Highland farms. This film will be screened at the North Dakota Icelandic Festival this summer, and also in Gimli on Íslendingadagurinn.
reist á árunum 1841 til 1862. Mörg bílanna byggðust upp á gömlum selli. Á Vopnafjarðarheiði hófst byggðin fyrr eða 1830 og stóð 1947. Skortur á jarðnæði var aðalástæða þess að fólk valdi að byggja á heiðinu. Það má segja að það hafi verið ósköp sjálfstæði að vera sinn eigin húsbóndi sem fékk fólk til þess. Á þessum tíma mátti fólk ekki giftast og stofna fjölskyldu nema að hafa jarðnæði. Búskaparskilyrði í heiðinni voru á margan hátt góð og víða væri snjókoma, enda flest býlin í yfir 500 metra hæð. Heiðin var mjög össum og gott sauðfjárland. Silungsveiði var ágætt í flestum vötnum á svæðinu. Rjúpnaveiði mikil á vetrum og yfir sumartíma var nóg af öndum og álftum. Hreindýr voru þarna frjáls, en þó talið að stofninn hafi verið í sögulegu lágmarki upp á 1900 og því voru þau friðuð. Vestur sóttu heiðarbúar nær eingöngu til Vopnafjarðar. Til dæmis var 75 kílómetra leið í kaupstað frá veturhúsum. Leiðir í kaupstað og milli bæja voru flestar auðveldar. Árið 1934 komst á vegasamband milli Norður- og Austurlands og lá vegurinn í fjöruborði Sænautasels hjá Rangárhólum. Eftir það fóru bændur á Jökuldalsheiðinni að versla við kaupfélag héraðsbúa á Reyðarfirði. Þá voru það aðeins 4 skref: Sænautasel, veturhús, Árhúsasel og Heiðarsel. En íbúar Vopnafjarðarmegin á Brunahvammi, Arnarvatni og Fossi sóttu áfram vestur til Vopnafjarðar. Við Öskjugosin á Víkinbrunni Askandi 1875 lögðust þeir bæir sem þá voru í byggð í Suðurheiðinni í eyði, nema Rangárhólum. Þá var komin í eyði. Nokkrir byggðust aftur að fáum árum liðnum. Öskugeiran lagði í austur frá Öskju. Askan féll víða en þó mest á hálendinu og fóru sum heiðarbýlis mjög langt út því. Við Öskufallið fluttu margir, fyrst niður í sveitirnar í kring. Fjöldi þeirra sigldi síðar vestur haf næstu árin og ekki mikinn fjöldi vestur-íslendinga aðkomendur fólksins úr heiðinni.
At each rooms of the 26 Highland farms is a tubular container of cylinder that holds information about the farm and the people who live there, a visitor log to sign and a unique stamp for each location. Like in the hiking treasure, people can buy specially made cards to stamp in. There is a signpost at the starting point. The farm Sænautasel was abandoned in 1943, but reconstructed 1992. Today there is a restaurant where you can get chocolate and Icelandic lumur, and it's also possible to sleep in the old farm. The buildings now allow for a number of summertime activities, which emphasizes cultural heritage, demonstrating to the modern traveler how rural Icelandic people lived in the 20th century. If people who have their ancestry traced to the people from these farms are visiting Iceland, I would be more than willing to take them to their farm. Now I'm going to tell you about a few day tours you could take from Egilsstadir. The first one is the Fljótsdals Circle. You would drive to Vallanes, which is an organic farm with a very nice restaurant. It's nice to start the day there with breakfast based on the ingredients they grow at the farm. Then you would drive on to Hallormsstaðir and look around and maybe stop for a moment in Atlavík. Egilsstaðir National Forest is considered to be the Icelandic largest forest. The forest is a popular recreational area featuring featuring camping sites, smart hiking trails, and an arboretum. In the forest is an old school where young women used to learn to be good housewives. Today, Hallormsstaðir Skóli is an educational institution providing platform for people to become sustainable creators of their own lives and of the world. There are many very interesting courses about creative sustainability. In the forest is also Hotel Hallormsstaðir with 2 restaurants and an ice cream shop with groceries is open in the summer by the gas station. The hotels emphasizes on comfort and wellness, offering various of accommodation from cottages to superior rooms. From Hallormsstaðir, you can drive towards Wilderness Center, but on the way you see Hengifoss, which is one of the hiking treasures. It's one of the highest waterfalls in Iceland, falling from the plateau into a magnificent gorge. There is a colorful rock face surrounding the waterfall, showing different layers from volcanic eruption in the Tertiary period when Iceland was formed. It takes about 40 to 60 minutes to walk from the parking lot to the waterfall. On the way is another astonishing waterfall called Litlanesfoss. It is crowned by exceptional high basalt columns, making it totally unique and photogenic. The river runs into the lake Lagarfljót, home of the world-famous worm monster Lagarfljótsormur. At the Wilderness Center, you could start with a lunch and then look at the exhibition. And from the Wilderness Center, you could drive back to Skriðuklaustur. On the way, you could make a quick stop at Valþjóðsstaðir. Valþjóðsstaðir is an estate deep in Fljótsdals. It is an ancient manor, and there has been a church since the 13th century. The church that now stands in Valþjóðsstaðir was sanctified in 1966. The door in the inner doorway of the church is a replica of the famous Valþjóðsstaðir door. The old door was initially used in the manor, but was later used as an interior door in an old church that stood in Valþjóðsstaðir for many centuries. The original door is now in the custody of the National Museum in Iceland. At Skriðuklaustur, you can start by walking to the ruins and then look at the exhibition in the house. Before you leave, you should taste the wonderful coffee buffet, all kinds of homemade bread and cakes. From Skriðuklaustur, you can stop by Seyðisfjörður Visitor Center, which is a visitor center for the East Territory of Vatnajökull National Park. The visitor center opened in June 2010 and is the first BREEAM certified building in Iceland. The center also has an interesting exhibition about the circle and forming of the nature, and in the visitor center you can get information about the area, the wildlife, and the nature. From Seyðisfjörður, you can stop by Áskirkja, a lovely little church where my daughter was baptized, and then drive to Vög for relaxing. You can have a dinner at Vögbað or go to one of the many good restaurants at Egilsstadir. Next, another interesting tour is Kárahnjúkar Circle. You start by driving to Laugafell, which is located north of Mount Snæfell, 74 kilometers from Egilsstadir. Good access in summer by our cars. Accommodation for 28 people, breakfast and dinner available. 2 natural hot springs are in Laugafell, which give the place its name. The springs are built from natural stone, the old traditional way, giving them a lot of charm. According to old folks' tale, the warm spring water has a healing power. Next you go to Kárahnjúkar Circle, which is a hydro-powered plant. It takes its energy from the dam of Jökulsá á Dal and Jökulsá í Fljótsdal, with 5 dams altogether and 3 reservoirs. The largest dam is also the largest of its kind in Europe. Kárahnjúkar Dam and Hálslón reservoirs were created as a part of Iceland's most extensive construction project to date and have since been visited by numerous tourists. The two tough peaks named Kárahnjúkar stand tall on the east bank of Jökulsá River and canyon, which ranks as one of the Iceland's deepest and most impressive. It's a fantastic experience to walk along the rim of the dam and look down into a spectacle canyon below. It is an impressive sight and gives you a sense of how tiny human really is comparison with the nature when you stand in front of this magnitude and scale. Next we go to Laugavelladalur, which is a green oasis west of River Jökulsá, some 20 kilometers north of Dam Kárahnjúkar, close to the site of an abandoned farm. There is a geothermal stream ideal for taking baths and shower in the warm water from there. It's a wonderful place. And at last we go to Hafrakoma Canyon. It's one of the greatest and most magnificent gorges in Iceland. The gorge is about 200 meters from the bottom to the edge, and the canyon is about 8 kilometers long. There is a marked hiking trail along the gorge down to Magnahellir, which is one of the hiking treasures. But you need a 4-wheel drive car to drive to the trail starting point. You can see part of the gorge from Kárahnjúkar Dam. And the next day tour would be to Húsey. Húsey is one of the hiking treasures, and it's a wonderful place for a day tour. Húsey is 56 kilometers north of Egilsstadir and located between the rivers Jökulsá and Lagarfljót. Húsey offers wonderful panoramic views of the surrounding mountains and opportunity to experience Iceland's unspoiled nature. A hike on the plains out of Húsey farm out by Flói Bay offers splendid view of the surrounding mountains, unique bird life, and seals. You can also enjoy horse riding in Húsey. There is a cozy old-fashioned hostel in Húsey. The old farmhouse has welcomed travelers for decades, offering modest accommodation, a fully equipped kitchen, and a communal living room. But they don't sell food, so people have to bring food with them if they're staying at the hostel. And then we could go to 2 of the nearby villages. The first, Seyðisfjörður, is the heart of culture, heritage, and hospitality in East Iceland, 25 kilometers of Egilsstadir. Nestled between Mount Bjólfur and Strandatindur, this tranquil town has a relaxed atmosphere and offers a range of cultural and outdoor activities, unique dining experience, and various shops for families and explorers to enjoy. The small town center is known for its many original early 19th century timber houses and picturesque setting around the lagoon. The town stretches along the south side of the fjord, but along the shoreline you can find access to the sea, rocky beaches, a puffin colony, and rooms of former activity. In December 2020, severe landslide hit the town of Seyðisfjörður, damaging or destroyed 40 buildings. Thankfully, there were no injuries. The largest landslides occurred on December 15, and it ranks as the most damaging landslide to have affected an urban area in Iceland. Many of the residents had to evacuate their houses. Some of them lost their homes in the mudslide. And next, we would go to Borgarfjörður eystri. The East Iceland has a hidden treasure called Borgarfjörður eystri, with a total of around 100 inhabitants. The area nonetheless has plenty to offer, including some of the most populated elven settlements in Iceland and tremendous variety of hiking routes. In addition, the marina has by far the best access to puffins in Iceland, where you can observe the birds from a distance of 2 meters. Not only does the area boast a spectacular landscape, a dream for every outdoor enthusiast, but also a good range of accommodation and services in the small town of Bakkagerði. Borgarfjörður, which is the northernmost of Iceland's Eystfjörð, is located an hour away from Egilsstadir. There is a great natural beauty in the area as it's still untouched by mass tourism. Going to Borgarfjörður eystri will also offer you a chance to experience a genuine Icelandic fishing village with a small boat fishery, which is quite different from the large-scale fisheries that are more prominent in Iceland. In addition, you will be in contact with a close community of people renowned for their hospitality. Their local cuisine consists of high-quality ingredients from the region, such as the fish brought in fresh every day. The fjord actually derives its name from the residency of the Icelandic elf queen, Álfaborg. Álfaborg is a rocky hill right next to the village. Álfaborg is a reserved area and an interesting place to visit, especially if you believe in the hidden people. They don't mind passers by as long as one respects the residents, the rocks. So next I'm going to tell you about things to do, other things to do in the area. There is one golf course in Egilsstadir run by the local golf club. You could also go to the farm Fljótsdals, which has a petting zoo and horse riding tours. The hostess Fljótsdals plays great emphasis on quality and good experience for the guests, horses and staff. The horses are well trained, healthy and happy. They suit for beginners and experienced riders. All the tours are private and with good saddles, safety equipment, and access for everyone to a local guide. Fljótsdals petting zoos, houses, sheep and lambs, cows, pigs and piglets, ducks and ducklings, horses, hens and rooster. The animals love people, especially little people from all parts of the world. You can go for a unique ATV tour with East Highlanders and take an outdoor adventure in one of Iceland's best ATV tours in the forest of Hallormsstaðir. There you will challenge yourself by driving an ATV. The tours take you through the forest. The trails circle the forest, and on the way they will take few stops where the guides tell you about the history of Hallormsstaðir. We have a wonderful swimming pool, which is located next to the sports center in Egilsstadir. It's an outdoor swimming pool, 25 meters long, 2 hot tubs, a children's pool, and a water slide. And nearby is Egilsstadir Heritage Museum. The east is the only part of Iceland where you will find wild reindeer. They contribute to the unique nature and are strongly connected to the region's history and culture. The focus of the exhibition is on the reindeer's nature, characteristic and survival, as well as reindeer hunting and how reindeer products have been used in fashion, design and handcraft. And there is a bike rental at Egilsstaðastofa by Egilsstaðir camping site. If you want to take a stroll around the town or even bike to Hallonstaðir. Many paths accessible for biking in the east direction, but you should ask the staff for map when renting a bike. And so, if you are a dog lover, you could always come and visit me at Gunnlaugsstaðir. Meet the huskies, hug the huskies, or hike with the huskies. I have 6 very friendly, pure-bred Siberian huskies that love people. You should just call before you arrive. And now I'm going to tell you a little about accommodation. There's a large selection of all kinds of accommodation in the area, at least 7 hotels. My favorite is Gistihúsið Lake Hotel Egilsstaðir. I even got married there. It's an established and renowned family-run hotel in a farming district. It meets all the modern requirements as to standards of service and amenities, quality, sophistication, and comfort. Yet it faithfully maintains its ethnic origins, as the hotel was founded in 1903, which provides its unique atmosphere. Guests can choose between residing in rooms decorated in a romantic style with antiques in the older part of the hotel, or ones furnished in a contemporary stylish way located in the more recent part. Gistihúsið is built on the river banks of the great and beautiful Lagarfljót by the town of Egilsstadir, and is as such centrally situated in East Iceland. There are 10 or more guest houses. I would like to point out 2, Wilderness Center, which I already told you about, and Hengifoss Guest House, which is a family-run guest house established in 2009 by 2 local farmers, Valli and Helga, who are also the host. They do their utmost to show you the hospitality Icelandic farmers are famous for. Hengifoss Guest House offers accommodation, breakfast and dinner, as well offering a well-equipped camping site with good facilities for caravans. And there are 2 hostels in the area, Húsey, which I have already told you about, and Tea House Hostel, which is located in the center of Egilsstaðir next to the information center and the camping site. Guests have access to fully equipped kitchen, and guests can relax in the guest room. The hostel focuses on the environment and fair trade. All garbage is recycled. The values are joy, sustainability, and honesty. The hostel offers simply tidy rooms with good beds. Bathroom facility are shared. Linen and towels are provided. Breakfast can be ordered. And then they have a bar also there. There are a lot of all kinds of cabins, cottages, and huts in the area. For example, the travel service at Stórasandfell, which is located 17 kilometers south of Egilsstaðir by Highway 95. At the facilities, they all offer many different types of accommodation, cottages, rooms, or at the campsite. They also offer horse riding tours through Sandfell's forest and nearby. There are many lovely hiking trails in the area. And the touring club of Fljótsdals Circle has 6 mountain huts. 5 of them are by the 2 very popular hiking trails in East Iceland. Here is a photo of the hut in Borgarfjörður. 38 people can sleep there. There is a wood stove for heating, gas stove for cooking, toilet and shower, also a camping place. And at last, we have also many camping sites in the area, for example, in Egilsstadir and Skriðuklaustur. Little about restaurants. There are incredible numbers of good restaurants in Fljótsdals Circle, and it was difficult to choose which one I should introduce to you. I have mentioned some earlier as Skriðuklaustur, Vallanes, Wilderness Center, and Vökvað, and I will add 3 more. Gistihúsið Lake Leikhotel Egilsstaðir is innovative and ambitious. Eldhúsi restaurant offers Icelandic as well as international cuisine. The service is personal cooking, ingredients are fresh, local, and always of the very best quality for each season. And Glóð restaurant in Hotel Valaskjálfur. At Glóð, food is like an art that plays with all senses, leaving the guest with wonderful memories. It's a meal to remember, both the food as the environment. Only finest and fresh local ingredients are used at the kitchen of Glóð. They also have Italian pizzas, only with Italian ingredients. And at last, I will show you Bókakaffi. It's located in an old bookstore by Lagerfljót Bridge, and is a retreat for anyone that likes good food, good coffee, or old books and magazines. Every Wednesday they have lamb chops for lunch, and every Thursday they have fiskilumur and bread soup with cream. Every Friday they have cake buffet between 3 and 5 p.m. This is very, very popular with the locals. So that's it. I've finished.
Wonderful. Well done. We invite questions from anyone who has them. I did want to talk a little bit more about the hiking. You have two trails, both of which have specific brochures for them. When is what would you suggest is the earliest time of year to be able to come and experience some of those hikes? It's too early now, I'm guessing?
For example, these two places I'll show you the video from. You shouldn't be in Stórurð or Þerribjarg until late summer.
Late summer, okay.
August best. But many of these places we hike to in winter also.
Okay.
So many of them it's good June, July, and August, and September, of course. That's a good month for hiking.
So it kind of just depends on the weather, obviously. And how do people go about getting a copy of those brochures? They can get it from the hiking club website.
Yeah. It's on the website of Ferðafélag, ferðafélag.is.
And we did list that in the blog that we had published. That address is available.
Yeah, it's on the website. But I will also, when I come to this summer, I will bring brochures about the Highland farms and few of the pearls.
Okay. Question: why or was there a specific reason that the farms you included in the abandoned farms hike? Why those ones? I'm assuming there were others.
Because there's a history. This was a special history about it was a 100 years of resistance in the Jökuldalsheiði. They got 16 farms there, right, and some at the Vopnafjarðarheiði.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
In the film, I visit most of them.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you get around a lot, don't you? A couple of questions have come in. How many hours to drive from Akureyri to Egilsstaðir?
It's about 4 hours.
About 4 hours. Okay. But past some very beautiful scenery and interesting areas. Another one, wow, Hjördís, this was wonderful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Did you ask me something?
I am about to ask you one. This was wonderful. I wish I knew about all these places when I visited in 2016. Yeah. So I guess that gives her a good reason to return again, right, Becky? Okay. You mentioned a couple times that you would love to have people come visit you at your farm or to visit with you, and you would like to go hiking with them. How do they go about getting in touch with you?
Just phone me. But I also have a email.
Okay.
It's an Icelandic husky@gmail.com.
Okay. We will provide that information to anyone who wishes to have it.
I would love to take people which want to go to the Highland farms, especially.
Mm-hmm. I think you and I have talked several times about my family that comes from the one of your hidden pearl areas, Kárahnjúkar. And
Yes.
so we'll try to make a date when other family matters don't get in the way. Another comment here. I saw an Icelandic sheepdog in one of the films. Do you have Icelandic sheepdogs as well as huskies?
No, I don't have. I only have huskies now.
Oh, okay.
But this was my friend dog. It was not an Icelandic dog. It was Border Collie.
Oh, Border Collie. Okay.
Yeah.
Comment from Sheila. We are coming in August and we will contact you. Thanks so much for your generous offer.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
And now tell us a little bit about raising huskies in Iceland. What do you do with your animals? Do you breed them to sell or to give away, or?
Yeah, I started to, well, I fell in love with this type of Siberian Husky. They're not in our culture. Sled dogs are not in our culture. They're new in Iceland.
Right.
My dog, first Husky, was born 2003, and he was from the second litter in Iceland. So, and he was such a star that I decided to import some female for him and started to breed. But of course I sell them, but I have always had from 6 to 9 huskies at my home, and I use them go sledging and skiing.
Okay.
It's very, very much fun. A lot of fun.
Yes. A lot of hard work though, too.
Yes. It keeps me going.
Yes, I can imagine that it does. Anyone else have a comment or a question before we begin to wrap it up? Wait just a second to see if there's another one that's coming in. Well, I would like to say thank you very much, not only to those of you who attended, but certainly to you, Hjördís, for the wonderful presentation, chock full of information. Certainly gives us a reason to go to Iceland. And as Doug was saying, it's a good idea to go ahead and fly also, since it's just an hour. A couple more comments have come in from Heather. So wonderful. I didn't catch the contact information. Could I have it again? We're coming in June. It's Iceland Husky.
Icelandic Husky.
Icelandic Husky.
At gmail.com.
Okay. And if you contact us through info@icelandicroots.com, we can share that with you as well. Here's a comment from Randy. Thank you, Hjördís, for this presentation. Randy.
Thank you.
A reminder that Icelandic Roots has a variety of different events online, and we encourage you to go to our icelandicroots.com and check out the events calendar. I know we have a Samtal hour coming up on Monday, and we will be visiting Skálholt next week on one of our lectures. That's the other part of the country that my family came from. So we're hitting both of them at the same time in the same week. Before we say goodbye, anyone have any other questions or comments that they'd like to share? All right. Well, I'd like everyone to go out and enjoy what's left of their Sunday and hope that it is, in fact, wonderfully spring weather wherever you are, or at least is trying to be. And go out and book your next trip to Iceland. Lots to see and do now. Thank you so much, Hjördís, and thank you to the viewers And we will be closing the meeting shortly.
Thank you. And welcome to East Iceland.
Welcome to East Iceland, exactly. Ken Johnson said thank you.
Mm.